We will kick off today's episode with our guest speaker pitching why you should listen to our podcast and follow our journey. Let's get started, folks.
Take advantage of what's out there to learn more about renewable energies, whether it's wind turbines, whether it's solar, whether it's geothermal. The more we get the word out and the more people that get educated in these fields, that's just going to be one step closer to not relying on fossil fuels.
Welcome to an episode of Young Entrepreneurs with the Green Roof team of Southern Illinois University Carbondale. We are a cross-university team of young, innovative minds positively impacting the landscape of SIU Carbondale through promoting and installing clean energy. Here, we are highlighting our team's activities and impact through our members, sponsors, and supporters, as well as discussing a new, interesting topic. So buckle up, because we are driving to a more sustainable future. Today we have a special guest, Clayton Hanks from CH Electrical. Would you like to tell the audience a bit about yourself, Clay?
Yes, my name is Clayton Hanks. Of course, I'm owner of CH Electrical. We've been in business for quite a few years. We specialize in solar. We've done a lot of solar installs all over the state of Illinois. We really want to help groups like the Green Roof team because we want to get the word out about the way renewable energies are really growing in the world, and to let them know that there's plenty of choices out there so that they have a variety of fields to go into in the renewable industry. So
most definitely. I know we're excited to work with you this next year on our solar and wind projects. Could you tell us about where you grew up and how you got into the energy sector?
Yes. Well, years ago, since basically 1992, my family used to install geothermal loops, and I've been doing that for quite a few years as well. We've got over 1,000 geothermal loops in the state, and with my education as far as the electronics go, I've dabbled in renewable energies to try to come up with ways to make things more efficient so that help the world as far as that goes with their carbon footprint. So, and I'm from Southern Illinois, born and raised here. I've got a lot of experience also in the electrical field. We've wired over 2,000 buildings since we've been in business, so we've got a little bit of experience in many things as far as that goes. We also have done many energy efficiency programs as far as changing out light bulbs, fluorescents with LED bulbs. So I feel that my company as a whole has actually done a lot as far as helping the environment and cutting down on the carbon footprint, so to speak. So
definitely I agree. Cutting down on our carbon footprint and finding more cleaner sources is the goal for the future, and being more energy efficient and just thinking more sustainably. So jumping right into our main talk for today, could you tell us a bit about what you know about what we've been doing, and then we can go from there?
Yeah. My company hasn't really done any wind turbines yet. We are interested in it. Our main focus is in the PV solar field. We have, like I said, we've done over 500 systems, and we have a lot of happy customers. We can basically, through our programming, we can design a customer a solar system depending on what their needs are, what their power usage is, whether it be taking care of 100% of their energy offset or 50%. The customer really has a choice as far as how much they want to save on their electric bill. The customer has also the choice of whether they, if depending on the location, whether they wanted a roof mount or a ground mount, and possibly both. We've done roof and ground mounts at the same location. But as far as the solar goes, we want to be able to help the Green Roof team and anybody that's really wanting to learn more about solar. We have plenty of experience with it. My company is also NABCEP certified as a NABCEP installer and a certified NABCEP inspector for the solar systems. NABCEP stands for North American Business Energy Practitioners, Certified Energy Practitioner, I'm sorry. But it's basically the highest type of training you can get for solar, and it definitely is nice to tell people that, because they don't want to have somebody that is quote a shade tree solar installer, so to speak. So like I was telling Nelson, the fact that we want to be able to help them with their group, because we see it every day when we do installs, how happy the customer is. We love getting feedback from them, because they call us and say, hey, we don't have an electric bill. That is just so satisfying to hear that from somebody, So there's so many benefits to renewable energies, not only with helping individuals with their own usage of electricity, but helping them to help do their part for the environment.
While also learning about the technology and just being amazed. It's almost like getting a toy as a kid and playing with it and seeing how far it can go. And then instead of just tossing it aside, it's still helping the world.
Yes, I agree. The technology is so every day it advances with what can be done for the solar industry, whether it's the inverter that converts the DC from the solar array to AC that ties in with your electrical system, or it's being able to monitor your system via your computer or an app on your phone. It's a wonderful thing that you can be out of town and pull up your phone and get on your app and see that, wow, my solar system's really producing today, or it's not, it must be raining at home. So there's so many different aspects that technology-wise with it, as far as that goes.
And then even perhaps being able to optimize the system and know when it can go to, say, battery storage or go into the grid.
Yes, and we do what's called hybrid systems that we can set up. It'll have a battery energy storage with it, and of course the solar array, but we can set it up to decide when to pull off the grid, when to use the batteries, which makes it a lot more efficient of a system. Plus it helps if, say, that the customer is getting charged higher rates at certain times of the day, they can pull off their battery and not use the grid, so they're saving money, which is great.
So how do you go about controlling which source you pull from?
Okay, well, as far as controlling it goes, we like to study the system to see when, through the use of control transformers, we will put a energy monitoring system on it, and we can tell. And the energy monitoring systems are great because you can put the quote CTs on each individual circuit, and you can see which one of those is pulling a load at certain times of the day. That being said, when you know that, then you can program your inverter to when to pull off the grid or when to use your energy storage from your batteries to help cut down on your bill, because you know then what is using electricity at certain times of the day. So
definitely I find that interesting. I know other team members we do too. And then with the wind turbine we have right now it's connected to the battery system that we saw earlier today, and we are looking to install solar also into it and making it into a hybrid system. So we have a lot to look forward to this coming year.
Yes. Well, like I said earlier, I am super excited to help the Green Roof team, because I feel that they are really advancing in what they are doing, not only here at the campus, but they're also bringing in people from outside the campus who are interested in this, because this is the future. Actually, it's really not even the future. This is now. What's going on isn't something we have to look forward to in the future. It's happening now, and it's great because we can get people involved and get them educated in it, because that just, anytime somebody's educated in something and they learn more about it, it not only helps them, but then they go tell their friends, their neighbors, and it gets more people involved. So it's just it's a chain reaction.
It's a really good chain reaction. I know with the pandemic, there's a lot of connotation that we lost a lot, but there's also so many opportunities that we did gain, like being able to have the virtual team from students from all over come in. I'd say that was the biggest benefit of the past year.
Yes. No, and we do, with our business, due to COVID, we do a lot of meetings over the phone or via emails, so that it makes the customer feel a little safer with the fact that we're not having to meet one-on-one to talk about what their choices are for going into for getting a solar system. But I'm hoping that this is that eventually things will get back to normal.
Hopefully, and I know that we're getting closer now every day.
Yes.
With everyone playing their role, just like adding on renewables and decreasing our overall carbon footprint. So with the activities we've been having over the past year, I know you've been seeing us a lot on social media, and then you reached out, and we now have a strong partnership. What would you say is the impact of what we've been doing from your eyes?
When you say the impact, do you mean what you've done so far with your wind turbine?
Yes.
Yes. I see, since I have been following you guys on social media, I have really seen some advancement with the things you are doing to help get people of your team involved, so that they can learn more about renewable energies. But I've just seen the progress of what you've done with the wind turbine, and after talking with a few of your other team members, the fact that how involved they are, whether it's with the mechanical side of things or the electronic or computer side of things, as far as learning how to program and make their steps to learn more about it. So I really I look for great things in your future. If it keeps going like you have been doing, I really see a great thing for the Green Roof team.
Definitely, I know we're having a lot of fun and learning a lot. Like one of our team members, Steven, who's a computer scientist that you met earlier today, he never had much experience with electronics and soldering or crimps, and we had a fun experience soldering the different wires onto the crimps and for the battery system. It was one interesting experience.
Oh, yes. Well, that's the great thing, too, because anybody who's been to college and went out into a career that they went to school for. You learn so much more actual hands-on at the actual job site that what you guys are doing is similar to what things you would learn on the job site, so to speak. So it's a great thing to have it here at the campus, to get extra training in the real world.
Most definitely. I know from my experience working at in the field, everything that we learn in school, it's applicable, but you truly don't know something until you do it hands-on and you communicate with others on what you were doing.
Yes. But, I will say this, you still need to have that schooling though, because if you don't know the basics or, exactly the process of how things go, those things you learn on, those things that they're teaching you, really you don't understand because you never had the training from school.
Yeah. Being able to have that strong foundation.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so in your many years of experience, have you learned any major lessons that you would like to share with us?
I have not really one particular lesson. It's the fact that anybody who's an entrepreneur who is in business for themselves, they're going to have a lot of failures. And the thing about having failures is to be the person that gets past this, and they learn from they don't want to do that same thing again, but they learn from that mistake and they grow. That's the thing about being in business for yourself, is it's not fun to have failure. But to once you get past that and learn from your mistakes, the sky's the limit, really, as far as that goes.
It's really well spoken.
Thank you.
Would you like to talk about one failure you had and what you learned from it?
Being in business and having employees, there's a lot of trust that you have to, depend on your workers, and that trust goes both ways. So having a good relationship with your coworkers, with your employees is in my business with my people, we have a great relationship, but there's been a lot of ups and downs. And one thing that when it comes to the solar field, they have a saying, they call it the solar coaster, kind of like a roller coaster, that you're going to have your lows and your highs. And I use the term solar coaster quite often. Through the years, though, our coaster isn't making them large dips down anymore. So
definitely not the most exciting roller coaster then, but
no.
For a business, sounds good.
Yes, but yeah, like I said, I really think that anybody who is interested in being an entrepreneur, with the innovations of things, and of course in the sustainability, that they go out and they do it. The one thing that you don't want to do is give up on something because you failed. Because I use this term a lot too, that Thomas Edison, when he was inventing the light bulb, he failed hundreds of times, until he got it right. He didn't give up, he kept going. And that's what being an entrepreneur is all about, is keeping on going and learning from your mistakes.
And every failure is just a lesson to be learned.
Yes, it is. But that's what makes life great, is the fact that you learn from your mistakes and you go on to hopefully succeed.
Hopefully, and just be able to enjoy the journey all throughout. I know for us last year we had we're down near the beginning of the year because we're trying to understand how we operate as a team virtually, how we best communicate with one another, and at about halfway through the fall semester, we found what works for us. Then we began seeing that going up, and then last April, when we were putting the turbine together and we saw it all together physically, took pictures, sent to everyone, it got everyone excited. And then seeing the battery box come all together and have it look organized and it worked, a feeling unlike any other. And then just say 2-3 hours we spent putting it all on the rooftop, that was the highest high we've ever felt. And now here we are, beginning of a new year with new projects and exciting continuings.
Yes, and you guys were excited about the wind turbines, and I think you're going to be very excited about the solar. It's very cool to, and like you said earlier about it's like getting a new toy as a child. It's very exciting to put it up, and you get it hooked up, and you go through the commissioning of the inverter, and just seeing it showing on your app on your phone or on the inverter, and it's showing what it's putting out, and it's really kind of cool, because when you first turn on your system, it'll go from 10-20 watts to 100 to 300 to 1,000 to 5,000, and it's just cool to see. Wow, look at all this electricity that we're producing from the sun. I mean, it's just it's a very, and I really feel that a lot of people don't think that solar is real, that it doesn't really put out, that it is real, because we see it every day. So it's not a small amount of power. It's like I said, we have systems where they take care of 100% of the customer's power bill. So to say that it's not real is not really true.
The sun can make us sweat, but it can also make us power.
Yes. So, and with the advancements, like I had mentioned, the fact that we have bi-directional solar panels that are being produced now, that you can get solar power from the back side of the panel, from the reflection on the roof of a building. I mean, that really shows even how much more we're advancing to try to take advantage of as much sunlight as we can. So we do have one of the companies that I am affiliated with, so to speak. They have a hashtag 24 hours of sun, because we are working towards the fact of with energy storage, with production from the sun, that we can someday, hopefully soon, not depend on anything, any power produced by a fossil fuel, because like I said, I see it every day, the fact of how much power we can produce, that there's no reason why we can't have 24 hours of sun.
No, definitely it's feasible beyond what we know. So I'm actually studying sustainability here at Carbondale as well, and there are conferences and movements back in the 80s, 90s for sustainability, and the thought was the direction we're going is not sustainable. But then over the years, there was a building support, and then I believe in 2011, 2012, the conference in Rio, they began understanding that, okay, we have the technology now, so we can prove that it's financially feasible and economically sound for governments to do renewables and clean energy technology and be sustainable. But there wasn't much support until 2015 when they had the Paris conference, and here we are with the Paris Climate Agreement, because we have the technology to be able to go further, and it is feasible to be a fully sustainable society by 2015 at least.
Yes, and I will say that the amount of solar systems that we have installed over the last just couple of years has just been great. And what has also helped with selling of the product is the fact that over the last 5-6 years, as far as we can speak right now, it depends on tariffs, but the cost of a PV module, the solar panel, has dropped 50%. That makes it way more idea for people to invest in solar now. So, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping eventually that it's just going to keep dropping to where everybody can take advantage of it, no matter what financial state they're in, so to speak.
Well, Clay, do you have any final words before we conclude today?
Take advantage of what's out there to learn more about renewable energies, whether it's wind turbines, whether it's solar, whether it's geothermal. The more we get the word out and the more people that get educated in these fields, that's just going to be one step closer to not relying on fossil fuels.
And with that, we conclude our episode of Young Entrepreneurs with the Green Roof team. Special thanks to your sponsors, the SIU Research Park, Energy at SIU Sustainability Office's Green Fund Grant, the University Innovation Fellows, CH Electrical, Enertech, Raz Coatings, AES Solar, Sprague Supply Group, H&F Visions, Silvix Forestry and Nursery, Nether Chance Studios, Climate Economy Action Network, and many more. And please visit our website for more information and follow us on social media. Stay sustainable, folks.